So my brother sends me this text, hey, you got to check out this game, Sword of Convallaria. It looks like a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy Tactics or Tactics Ogre or any of these games. And I take a look at the trailer and I'm like, holy guac, this looks so good. There's an Agrius adjacent character. Turns out the music is being done by Hitoshi Sakamoto, one of the best composers in the biz. But there's one problem. It's a gacha game. I can't believe it. I watched the trailer. There's no mention of it. They mention a lot of characters, but still I had to go onto Google, search this game to find out that yes, it is a gacha game that is currently out in certain regions and that is going to be coming for a global release. Now, here's the catch. They are going to be doing a offline version on Steam and consoles, I believe, as well. So maybe we are going to get this choice-based tactical RPG, kind of in the vein of Triangle Strategy that released just a few years ago. But at the same time, converting a gacha game to offline isn't just making a single-player RPG. There's going to be some issues there, and I'm kind of curious about how a lot of that is going to wash out, because at the end of the day, what I'm looking for right now is a tactical RPG, but not another gacha tactical RPG. So here's the post in question. Thank you very much, Golden Rice, for posting this, asking about this. And then we got this incredibly in-depth comment from Succubus Rosa. So this is confirming that it's a gacha game and that there's already some management stuff that's going on, but we're not here to talk about that. But basically, there are kind of like two modes: the campaign quest mode, which you spend stamina, and then there is the story mode. And this is a single player offline mode that you can buy off of Steam, where it says free to play right now. So we'll have to kind of see how that all shakes out. But basically, you play this branching path game mode and you play the same story again and again, but you go down a different path each time, and it's totally detached. What this person is saying is that none of your units and gear carry over from the gacha side of the game. It's totally detached. You can clear it as a free to play. So if you think about it this way, I mean, that sounds really good. I'm on board for that. But the problem is that at the end of the day, this game is coming out probably for free. Then yeah, it needs to make some money. So we have to think about how that's all going to be happening. So there's more detail here about how the actual gacha works. I'm going to link to this post in the description for this video if you want to read the whole thing. But there is more information here. It talks about how PvP is horrendous and some stuff about the summoning, but their game does seem kind of like those single player games like Octopath, Another Eden, and other games like that. So let's talk about how this game actually looks, because when you look at the character detail screen, you actually see there's a button for skin, there's equipment, certain skills. It very much looks like there's an awakening system here, and that this is in fact a gacha game with all of those mechanics. But then again, when we get into the actual gameplay and you can look at the gameplay trailer, that there's a ton of different things that you might expect in a game like Triangle Strategy. There's things like setting up traps where you can preemptively attack somebody if they move into your range. You can bump people off platforms and kill them. You can knock rocks down, set the ground on fire, and use all sorts of different skills to traverse a changing map. And that's actually really cool, because War of the Visions, that's been out for 3 years, doesn't even have half of that stuff. So this game does seem like it's bringing quite a bit to the mobile tactical area, the space that we're playing in here. And I really like that. It seems like it's going to be really cool. The issue that I'm kind of worried about is, again, how gacha this is going to be. How much farming is there going to be? Is it going to be like War of the Visions, where at the end of the day, you just most of the time you hit auto because that's just going to be more efficient. It really isn't. There isn't a point in just doing your daily farm quests on manual, even if you like these strategy type games. Is there going to be enough of a challenge? Is it going to be based on having to pull the latest character? Those are the types of things that I'm very curious about. As for the rest of the game, the story seems pretty good. So you're basically a mercenary troop in a certain kingdom. This kingdom is highly coveted because they have this natural crystal resource that everybody else wants. There's political infighting within the kingdom. There's fighting outside of the kingdom, coming to the kingdom. And as this mercenary group, you're going to have to fight all these different factions and deal with all this stuff going on in the story. There's a bunch of different branching paths that you can pick from. Your decisions will actually matter. And all of that seems really cool. Plus, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Hitoshi Sakamoto, who does some of the best music ever in video games, period. And that's just my opinion, but it's right. So very excited to hear. Everything that we've heard in the trailer so far is very Final Fantasy Tactics-y, very Final Fantasy 12-y. It's definitely reminiscent of that kind of thing. Whereas the actual gameplay itself kind of makes me think of Tactics Ogre, makes me think of Triangle Strategy. There's even a few characters that remind me of characters from those games. Okay, so those are my thoughts on the game from what we've seen so far. You can go check out their YouTube channel if you want to see these trailers that I'm using the footage of in this video. And at this point, I'm optimistic for the single player part of the game, and I will definitely play that. However, if the gacha game comes out, I'm not really certain that I'm going to try that. I'm just, I don't want to start more gacha games. I got to stop playing gacha games. Somebody's got to help me stop playing these gacha games. I have no room for them anymore. I can't do it. But I'm sure that many of you will, and you'll be really enjoying this one as long as it holds up in terms of the gacha elements. But either way, let me know what you think of Sword of Convallaria. Are you excited to play this game? And is there a reason to be optimistic, or should we be worried that it's yet another gacha game that looks really cool, but they have to stick the landing? Okay. All right. That's it for me. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.